Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here, my friends. It's 9:08. There's a special something at 9:30. Please, signal me, we're getting close, because we gotta have that on tap. Thanks. I know you can all be somewhere else. It makes me a little emotional looking in to see so many people I love, and then also strangers that I don't know, but it makes me emotional that you spend your time here. You should be in bed or at a board meeting, probably. Typically there's a screen, and I would take you through a number of visuals that might reflect the story of what I'm about to share. As I have about 20 minutes, we're going to see what we can do. The theme of the topic is the same in Creative Mornings all over the world. So anywhere there's a city that has Creative Mornings, they're also talking on the topic of this month is Blossom. And I was really thankful to be invited through Brittany and Mark, and you'll hear how they come into this together. But the topic of Blossom, it stirred something in me, to be honest. Amen. Because I have gone for years not feeling and knowing how to express myself. After a long period of knowing how to express myself. The Red Thread Project was a really cornerstone point of my personal and professional life, and intersecting with children who are faced with extraordinary circumstances that have to figure out how to live with bright eyes and hope anyway, even though they were born in a way that they didn't choose, that has very real everyday implications of how to keep going, how to stay up, how to stay positive. It just blew me apart. Every day I worked with people, and they were young, but I was always excited every time I'd meet a new kid, because I'd just be like, oh, I don't know anything again. Take off all the stuff. Approach again and learn again. And so I've been really fascinated. And when COVID, do you guys remember that thing that happened in 2020? Just decimated our lives as a community and as creatives and as just humans, and it was hard. It was so fucking hard. It killed my project. It killed this thing that I loved, that I've been working a lot with, that people in here gave money to, volunteered to, gave space to, like so many people in here helped it. And then, like a lot of people, it just wiped out my profession. And I'd always thought I'd had a real resiliency. I'd always been able to really dig my own well, and it wiped something out of me. It was hard. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. I had a few people say, what are you doing now? Like, the Red Thread's over. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I care about. I don't know if what I'm making is good, or what does that even mean? So there was some years of floundering, and I don't share that to be like self-deprecating. I'm being honest. It was a very it was unknown, because I'd always felt very able to figure it out. And there was always a story and a connection and a visuality, and then it wasn't there. So I don't know if you've ever been in that space, but that's, I felt very dormant. And then last fall, I had a really sweet invitation by Feist Gallery, which is right yonder, just a hop, skip, jump right there. And they invited me to create something. And I was sharing a studio with Porsche Wave. That's my Porsche. We were sharing a studio together, and one day I drew these really silly animals. I'm taking that back. One day in Mexico, you start talking and I forget all this stuff. I'm going to pass around my sketchbook if you want to look at it. This is from circa 2019, 2020. But I did these these animals. I think they were each 9 seconds, maybe 7 seconds. But these little guys nestled in somewhere. And then about a year ago, I was like, how if they were a little bit bigger? So you'll recognize some of them. I said, what if they were bigger? Anyway, we did the whole show at Feist off these silly things. Look over a friend's shoulder or something, but pass around in front, and don't let me leave without that, please. Your sketchbooks are gold. Sketchbooks and journals are gold. The finished thing's usually not in it. But the seed is, if we go back to this topic. Being dormant is not being dead. Dormancy is not death. Seeds are dormant, right? A seed is alive. It's just really still, really quiet, really held in tight. But it is not dead. Which, I know we all know that, but for reals, it's not dead. It's just dormant. And seeds do their magic when the environment around them is just right, when the sunlight has come through just enough, when the rain has happened just so much, and then it activates the seed to then start, doing its thing, flexing. Blossoms don't happen in the fall. Blossoms don't happen in winter. Blossoms only happen in the spring. Blossoms only happen to angiosperms, which is a flowering plant. Blossoms are not fruit, right? Do we have a botanist in the group? Do we have a botanist? I'm just talking shit, but do we have a botanist out there? It's not fruit. Blossom is not the fruit, but the blossom brings the fruit. The blossom is, as I was talking to my sweetheart here on Sunday about this, and Cam was relaying some ideas to me. He's like, blossoms are when we absolutely open up the biggest and say, I'm ready, come and give me that honey. I'm exposing my most vulnerable parts now. And that's what a blossom is. It's the most vulnerable, open thing that then it's like, I'm ready to activate. I'm ready to make something. I'm ready. It took me a minute to crawl out. I'm ready. The blossom is not the fruit, though. The blossom is I'm ready, right? That's what it means in the plant world. The fruit even comes later, and it's juicy and it's sweet, and it doesn't even look like the flower. They don't even look the same. So what does all that have to do with all this? Well, I was pretty dormant for a minute, and then through some interesting connections, I got invited to make some art. And that silly guy over there, he's one of them. He was in the sketchbook, then I made him into that. And I decided to try to make wood panels, these little relief, these panels, and I loved it. But like in a way I was like, what? I'm not like a wood guy, but I've got good friends who are wood people, like Dusty. She'll help me cut it out. So anyway, we cut out these silly things, right? So fun, it was great. We had a great show, the vibe was up, and I'll be totally transparent. I was so happy because it was super silly, and I was just like, that's what I want. I just want silly, colorful, friendly stuff. And a lot of the people in this that I share a deep relationship feel the same. Because life is really hard. If you haven't woken up lately, it can be tough. And it's also really tough for some of these kids sometimes. They're just trying to freaking live. And to be normal. They're not their diseases. They actually hate that. They hate it. And they're like, oh, you're the, don't. They just want to be known for their brains and their hearts and their ideas. like you and I do. Right? So it's what we all want to be known for, right? The essence of who we are. I'm going to read you this great poem by Mary Oliver. I know we all love her. This is Leaves of Blossoms Along the Way. I love poetry. I love to read it all the time. People that know me know that. Listen to what she says about this. If you're John Muir, you want trees to live among. If you're Emily, a garden will do. Try to find the right place for yourself. If you can't find it, at least dream of it. When one is alone and lonely, the body gladly lingers in the wind or the rain, or splashes into the cold river, or pushes through the ice-crusted snow. Anything that touches. God or gods are invisible, quite understandable, but holiness is visible entirely. Some words will never leave God's mouth, no matter how hard you listen. In all the works of Beethoven, you will not find a single lie. All important ideas must include the trees, the mountains, and the rivers. To understand many things, you must reach out of your own condition. For how many years did I wander slowly through the forest? What wonder and glory I would have missed had I ever been in a hurry. Beauty can both shout and whisper, and still it explains nothing. The point is, you're you, and that's for keeps. The point is, you're you, and that's for keeps. Some friends that came to the thing said, Dallas, there's this opportunity with the Blocks. The Blocks, who are these awesome people, it's both a district and an organization, and they are trying to find people to create some really fun stuff in Salt Lake City. So I applied to this partnership. Where are you guys? Brenda, there you are, there's Josh. And these guys believed in me. I said, why don't we turn Salt Lake City into like kind of a scavenger hunt thing? And why don't we put big, huge, silly animals on buildings? And they were like, all right, let's do it. You guys, they gave me money. They gave me a team. They said like, we love what you're doing, man, let's go. And that is awesome to feel. That's so cool to feel. Like, people who are like, we love it, go. How else can we help you? Like, literally, that's what they said. How else can we help you? What else do you want to do? I'd show them a picture, but like, that's awesome. We love it. I mean, they're awesome. They're doing great work. It's why this exists. Because I'm not gonna, like, that's a lot of money up there. Just, it's a lot. It's a lot of hours, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of magic. So what did we do? What time are we at? The idea was like, well, my kind of route is children living in extraordinary circumstances. I'm going to find some of them, and then we're going to focus on Utah animals. And we're going to make up new silly animals, kind of like a jackalope, jackrabbit, antelope. The French term for that idea, a mashup, is called a portmanteau. That's what brunch is. That's what motel is. Those are portmanteaus. Right, so let's do animal portmanteaus of more Utah animals. Here's the difference. Here's what makes them absolutely amazing. One of the animals is a threatened species. One of the animals is a thriving species. Because when you pair a thriving species with a threatened species, both of them win, right? They both get better, but it takes a thriving one to help a threatened one. So all of these, and I presented to all these kids this idea, and these kids worked with me, and these are the representatives. Then they sketched. We had this big 3-hour workshop. They were in it. I was like, sketch for like 20 minutes, fast. Now change this position, now do a new position, just sketch, go, go, go. And they're just drawing, flip the page, now draw again, now flip the page, draw again. They'd all found their little animal avatar. And then I said, then you're gonna give it to me, it's gonna go through the Absolute Amazing Animals filter. And then we're gonna make something huge. We're gonna put your art on top of a building in Salt Lake City. And you're literally only like this tall. This is gonna be awesome. It's 9:24. So Brittany, who's the director of the blocks, she just went to go meet the families and the kids by Copper Common. They're gonna walk up the alley, they're gonna come down this corner at 9:30, and they're gonna see this for the first time. They haven't seen their animals yet. They just saw the silhouettes. I showed them the silhouettes and their colors. So they know what their animal is, plus they know their sketches and all the artwork I did. Obviously there's a commonality of the world that I'm bringing together here with the visuals, but you know, I'll show you real quickly. I drew them all, I promise. My ASMR videos, I need to shut that down. Here's the spoizard. So real quickly, this is the spoizard. This is a spotted bat, sagebrush lizard. I'll let you determine which one's threatened or not. This is coyote, cougar and a coyote. This is scundor, a skunk and a condor. This is the faroose, a black-footed ferret with a moose. It's a little hard to see. This is the butter bear. That's a black bear with a Nocomis fratelli butterfly. And I think we got one more. Ah! This is the big bumblehorn, the American bumblebee with the big sheep horn. These kids were awesome. And they don't even know they're gonna sit on stage with me, but they're gonna sit on stage with me afterwards. We're gonna keep track of your time. We've got 4 minutes. I just think it'd be awesome. Let's make a little column right here. We're gonna cheer them on. I'll tell you when to go, but hold on. We'll cheer them on. Then we're all gonna just move our bodies. We're gonna go up to that big thing over there, and we're just gonna be there. We're just gonna be in the moment here. Maybe the kids don't say anything. Maybe they're just like overwhelmed that all these rad humans are like meeting and they like cheering them on. But we're gonna lay into like a special moment for them. You know, this like I believe in you moment, like we got you, you're good. It's a moment in time that we're like, way to go, put in some work. You can make city big shit. And you're only like 8. Like, let's buck the system about, you know, what can you do or not, right? But when we will bring this up, I will bring this up too, because part of my notes was in this blossom exploration was, oh, Brittany's here. Hold on, she's walking. Hey!
Hi, Nellie.
Hey, guys! Make his column right down here. They keep it right down the middle, so just get on both sides. Okay.